I think, honestly, we should just fast travel over here to Edgewater. Or actually, you know what? I do have this one to turn. This is the robot one. Let's fast travel down here first. We'll turn in the robot one, and then we'll go into Edgewater and do all of that. I think that the cool thing about being able to complete all these quests at once is we're going to level up.
Bring us honor, soldier.
Logic module.
Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes. I would reward you with the gratitude of the resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile. So here's a couple bits for your trouble, and a little something to remember me by.
Thank you. 500 bit cartridges, pretty good. So here's the thing. Our where would that be at? Reputation. Our reputation just went up with Spacer's Choice. It just went up to agreeable. What does that affect? You are friendly to this faction. Vendor prices are reduced by 5%. That's kind of cool. I like that I have the negative there. It's whoops, you know how that happens. Deserters I'm still friendly with, but I have a feeling that I won't be if I decide to turn off their power. How much that's going to affect Spacer's Choice as well, I don't know. Ooh, that's a pretty good one-handed weapon. Does she need that? 163 to 146. Yeah, let's oof, that's hot. Let's give her that. She can use that instead, and then the rest of that we can vendor. I don't know which quests I need to do in here, so I'm just going to start ticking them off the list. I know I have to go to the Reverend, which is like right here, so we'll do that one first. I think there was the medicine guy, right? So I gotta do that. I gotta like hit up everybody here. I want to go over to the cannery and see what the heck's going on with that.
Any progress on that matter we discussed?
Yes. I got your book.
Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French.
Language.
It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn.
You didn't want that book to keep others from reading it. You just wanted it for yourself.
Well, yes. But I assure you, it was not for personal gain, only for the greater good. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted.
Well, that is a turn that I honestly was expecting. I mean, it didn't really seem like he cared about all of this. So, what do you think? What do you think the book held the secrets you were looking, or why do you think the book held the secrets you were looking for? This has to be some kind of cosmic retribution, or at least you still have your mission work here to give your life a meaningful purpose. Let's do that.
Please. As if my life should have no greater meaning than proselytizing to a bunch of feeble-minded wretches. Nothing could be more excruciating than discussing the true nature of reality with people who have no interest beyond their next Aetherwave program. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew.
What? What? He could be a companion? Since when? Oh my goodness. I was not expecting that. Yeah, he just seemed like some random NPC. I didn't even... Like Parvati, you're like, she's going to be a companion. She's unique. He's just kind of a douchebag. Turns out. No, he wants to be a part of my crew. What's in it for me?
Free spiritual counseling, someone to watch your back, not to mention a grown-up in the party.
Hey.
I'm 28.
Exactly. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well.
Okay. That's all part of your vicar training?
Well, understanding computers is, though I admit I took it further than most. And I was quite the 32nd back during my seminary days. Left many an opponent bleeding on the field.
32nd back, obviously some kind of sports thing in the Outer Worlds lore. But hey, you know, that's cool. It's just more world building. Are you even a vicar? Because you're sounding very... You aren't sounding very vicarly right now.
Of course. I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other you'll find in this colony. I joined the OSI to help decipher the grand plan. But instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics. Then I came here. Satisfied?
I see. I don't think you were being completely honest with me about that book. What's the story?
It's the journal of one of the originators of the Philosopher's School of Thought, though it would be more than a century before it was perverted into that belief system. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of that came later. Bokonu had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan.
How'd you get assigned to prison duty?
Most laypeople are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's the long and short of it. So, what do you think?
Sure. Sounds good.
Fantastic. Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up with you.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
Heck yeah. Got ourselves a new companion. I love it. That's really cool. Mostly because, honestly, I wasn't expecting that at all. It just kind of happened. I got to turn in the medicine. Oh, he's just right down over here. So he's closer than turning in the digits. Because I think the digits are to the bounty office, which is off over to the left. I guess it's kind of all the same, really. Let's go in here. Give him his medicine.
You wanna mingle, go try the cantina.
Don't be a butthead. I have the medicine.
Let's see it. Don't keep us waiting.
It's all yours.
Sweet life-giving nostrum. The first hit's always the best. Scratched together all the bits I had around the domicile.
It's a lot of
ain't as
XP.
much as it deserve, but it's all I got.
Spacer's choice reputation increase. Persuade. I risk my life to save yours, Abernathy.
You're wringing the blood out of me. Here, you can have whatever's in my pockets.
Cool. See you around. I actually got more reputation than I was expecting there. I am now revering with Spacer's choice. I'm at 81%. That's really good. Vendor prices are reduced by 25%. Wow, that's awesome. And on top of that, if I come over here, turn this in, I'm gonna get even more.
Something to report?
I'm here to turn in a bounty.
We pay by the finger. What do you have for me?
Oh, do I have to do these one at a time? Okay.
Gil Antrim. Real name, Guillaume. Duly processed by a freelancer on behalf of Spacer's Choice. I remember him. Was just a kid last I saw him. Shame. I'll just need your signature here, 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 and here. Got any more fingers for me?
Yes, I do.
Mabel Burgess. Age 37. Right or left-handed? Let's just say no longer applicable. I remember Doc Burgess. Conducted my physical every fiscal quarter. Guess she couldn't keep her hands off her patient's medicine. Still one outstanding bounty. If you've got a finger, I've got the paperwork.
I'm getting a bunch of bits. This is great.
Here we are. Birdie Cotton. Cause of death. Let's just say overwhelming physical trauma. Bert was the local preacher before Max took over. Always was quick to remind us that we all get what we deserve in the end.
I see.
Well, that's all 3. I must remember to requisition some more fingerprint ink. Here's all the compensation you've earned, plus a bonus.
Okay, cool. What's this? Junior Deputy Constable?
You've done such a bang-up job hunting down our former workers that I thought it only proper to deputize you. Congratulations.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I guess I'm a deputy now. Yay me.
Been eating nothing but salt.
Right. Our final quest is to do the main thing. I feel like what I want to do first is go talk to this dude and be like, what? How can you grease my palm a bit, right? What makes the deal a bit sweeter? And then I'll consider switching power. I just love the music. It's a good touch. It's a really good touch. She seems to agree. All right. What's up?
My offer remains standing should you reconsider.
I wanted to talk to you.
Go ahead.
Does he not have anything? Have you taken around or looked around town lately? What makes you think I can convince these deserters to come back? You seem pretty fixed on bringing Adelaide back to town. Here, I think the outstanding thing is the plague, because for me, I'm like, I would divert power to the town, but the problem is this plague seems like a really bad thing, and that brings people back in to die of the plague. So that's bad. We need to figure out what's going on with that. So let's talk about the plague.
Can we not? Talking about unpleasant things always gets my bile up.
You withhold medicine from your own workers. How long has this plague been happening? Let's do the first one.
If I had enough medicine to treat everyone who fell sick, I would, but I don't. I can't save everyone. So I have to choose.
That can't be easy for you. No, that's monstrous. But that's true. If he had enough medicine, he would treat everybody.
It is not easy for me. And the moment it becomes easy is the moment I am no longer fit to serve. Spacer's choice is a family, and the survival of the family is more important than the survival of the individual.
Okay. How long has it been happening?
That I cannot say. There was no moment when the plagues began. Disease always lurks on the fringes of society, waiting to infect the idle and the lethargic. But in the last 10 years, the plagues have become progressively worse and increasingly frequent.
I don't have enough medicine to be able to be like, hey, you should have developed an immunity after repeating exposure to a single strain of contagion. Well, yeah, that is true. Everyone gets sick. You don't have to be idle or lethargic or weak of spirit.
Modern science disagrees with you, friend. It is a well-documented fact that the wealthiest in society do not suffer from ailments of the Constitution. I believe plague is a test. It is a test of our loyalty and our fortitude, and it is one we will see through to the end.
Okay. Let me ask you something else.
Go ahead.
Have you taken a look around your town lately?
It is my job to keep 2 eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post.
Okay. Your town is falling to pieces.
I wish you wouldn't say things like that.
Why? It's true. You disagree?
Yes, as a matter of fact. When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought into this world to do.
You're loyal to Spacer's Choice. How long have you worked here? I think let's just kind of go down the list. How long have you worked here?
I'm trying to remember 25 years, 26. When you get to my age, the years just rush by. You stop counting altogether. I remember looking out this window and seeing the veils spread out from horizon to horizon. We were a sprawling town. We were booming. Times change, people change, but the veil will always be here. Spacer's Choice will always be here. Our work won't ever end. I take comfort in that.
You're loyal to Spacer's Choice.
This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think we should go. There we go. Didn't go the first time. I don't know. I feel like, does she have anything to say?
Where are we headed?
I noticed you mentioned your dad a lot, but not, oh, okay. We can actually talk to her about all this, or about her stuff. Let's do that real quick.
That's on account of how I never met her.
What? How is that possible?
She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
Goody. That's inhumane.
It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
You mentioned something earlier that I wanted to ask you about.
You mean about the mission being too clean?
Isn't it supposed to be clean? It's a church. In the bar, you asked if I was a drinker. No, let's do, isn't it supposed to be clean?
I know, but Vickers says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
Okay. You're a mechanic. Whenever you see a machine, it's in need of fixing. That's actually a really good point. It's an ideal, not what we live in, but what we strive for. But then why do you want to talk to him? Yeah, let's ask her that one.
The Vicar's about the only soul in the Vale who spends his time thinking on what is and ain't right. It's just that when he looks at me, I feel I'd disappoint him.
Okay. In the bar, you asked if I was a drinker. I don't remember that at all. Sure?
Sorry. I know, it's none of my business.
I mean, I guess you're not a drinker yourself.
Strong drink makes me sick. And it makes me real sad. I start thinking about things I oughtn't, and then... Well, never mind that. You got better things to think on. Sorry.
Okay, if you want to talk about it, I'm happy to listen.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said anything.
Okay, well, in that case, let's go down, right? Like, I feel like, I didn't get quite what I was looking out of him, or looking for out of him. I was hoping to get a little bit of a, I don't know, like a, hey, this is why you should help me, you know? But apparently not. So both of those missions are there. Let's go to the lab and see if we can't talk to the woman and be like, okay, why should I help you? Because at this point, I kind of feel like I'm pretty close to helping the town, just for the sake of, as you know, it's lesser. It's the lesser of two evils.
Anything else I can do for you?
There's more people out here or in there that need the power than there are out here. When we first talked, you'd assumed I'd come to live here.
I am getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I might have seen you for what you are.
I don't imagine you get a lot of visitors.
My dear, we are all visitors in a momentary universe. Our lives flicker in and out like the guttering of a flame. Here now, then gone. Me and mine are just carrying on as best we can, trying to live our lives in a way that does not feel wasted.
Why? Or until your power cuts out, anyway. Yeah.
I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life.
Right, okay. Maybe it deserves to come to an end? You can always continue your way of life back in town, or Reed's making an offer in good faith. You should consider it. That's true.
If you think Reed does anything in good faith, then you are asking to be lied to.
You could always continue your way of life back in town. Yeah.
Not under Reed's watch. He and I would come to blows within a day, and he would never tolerate my tending to a garden. This is my home. It will be my home even if Reed cuts our power. Simple as that.
You and Reed obviously have some sort of history.
That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. Remember that limited run of white chocolate saltuna? That was all me.
Okay. There's obviously more to it than that.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
That's kind of sad. I'm guessing Reed has his own side of that story. Or it sounds like the town turned its back on you. Well, I would say I'm guessing Reed has his own side of the story.
I could not possibly care less if he does. But you're surely welcome to ask him.
Right. Maybe I would, actually. We've talked enough. I don't know. I don't really know what to do here because maybe I should go ask him.
I'm listening.
Let's see what she says to this. I don't know where I am.
That's not strange at all, dear. Few of us truly know where we are. The world can seem like a forest without end, and it is all too easy to lose one's way. But we must remember that being lost is the first step in discovering yourself.
That's the answer I was expecting, but you still cheered me up. Or I could do without the cliches. No, I mean, I actually don't know where I am. Let's see what this goes down.
This is the old botanical lab in Emerald Vale, on Terra 2. By the look on your face, I'm guessing you're not quite following me. Are you not feeling well? Ought to lay your head down if you're running fever.
I was kidnapped by a crazy scientist and shot into space, but thanks for asking. Let's see what she says.
That sounds like fever talk, all right. So why am I tempted to believe you? Where did you say you were from?
I didn't say it. I arrived here from Earth. I wonder what she would say to all of this. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm probably going to end up killing her if I go and do the power thing. I don't know. It seems like she's not going to like that. So, does the hope ring any bells?
Is that a new settlement of some kind? I haven't kept news from outside the Vale.
No, not exactly. It's a colony shore. You never heard it, met anyone from the Hope? There were thousands on that ship. Now she clearly doesn't know. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe we could go ask Reed real quick about that. Let's try. Let's see, because she told me, hey, you should go ask him about that. I don't know. This is kind of a weird situation that we find ourselves in. It's not such a black and white choice. And this is probably, in my opinion, the thing that the Outer Worlds, up until this point, has done the best. Which is creating a non-binary choice. It's not like, this is the good choice, this is the evil choice, you get to choose. It's like, no, both choices are valid. You have a town with plague and a colony of deserters because of the plague and other things going on in the town. But if you cut the power from the town, then all of these people in this town become, essentially deserters as well. And many of them will not make it out there. Likewise, then Spacer's choice may come down and just kill everybody with robots. Likewise, if you go and cut the power from the deserters, they all are forced back here and may die of the plague. It's like, it's not a black and white choice.
My offer remains standing should you reconsider.
Let's see. Let's see if there is anything there. You pretty fixed on bringing Adelaide back to town.
Adelaide was our only flavor specialist. We are a Saltuna canning institution. Saltuna without flavor is like a cysty pig without tumors, borderline inedible.
Okay, that sounds disgusting. Don't you people eat anything other than Saltuna?
Were it up to me, friend, I'd stack our larders with Saltuna galore. No other brand of Saltuna adds as much vim or vigor to the body's humors. But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, Saltuna is hard to come by. What with being a species indigenous to the seas of another world.
Hang on. So what are you canning here exactly?
Oh, we've scavenged together some organic material from the surrounding environs. Mostly organic, mostly local mushrooms. Some of which possess a texture akin to a well-boiled slab of Saltuna. The difference is all but impossible to detect to any but the prissiest of palate.
That's gross.
Go ahead.
So essentially, it's not even right. We kind of already knew that. And we're pretty sure that the Saltuna is what's causing the plague to begin with. What makes you think I can convince them to come back?
That you are not one of us may work to your advantage. Adelaide and her folk loathe the people of Edgewater, you see. I admit the fault was mine. I'm about as diplomatic as a bristling canid. I just hope Adelaide and her folk will see their way past my flaws and return to town.
Don't blame yourself. Sometimes people move on. It's the way of things. Yeah. It's an ugly place to live. Of course, people are going to walk away.
Nature is ugly. There is safety here. Safety and purpose. But not all of us see that. And I cannot force that vision upon them.
Yeah, whatever.
Yes, we have lost good workers to desertion. We have lost even more to plague. But it is why we must square our shoulders and carry on.
Man, I really don't agree with you. You and Adelaide have personal history.
Losing Adelaide was the hardest. She was our only flavor specialist. When she walked away, I knew we were in trouble. Spacer's Choice Saltuna is renowned across the system for its quality flavors and additives. We used to sell citrus-flavored Saltuna in our heyday. Ever since Adelaide left, we have been reduced to selling unflavored and spearmint.
Ew, I need to walk away. That's gross. Ew, can you imagine spearmint, like, fishy flavor? Ugh, it just makes me want to throw up. Honestly, I need to go. Here's the. Did I just see loot down there that I've never seen before? Ooh, look at that. Oh, I can steal it. It's weapon part. I don't need it. Here's my idea. Here's my thought. I have to go with my gut choice for what my character would do. And what my character would do is try to keep my reputation with these other people high enough in whatever way I can. So right now, I'm currently 100% with them, which is great. I don't feel like I want to reduce that to any, right? I don't want any negative reputation there. I want them to look at what I'm doing and be like, oh, he's a good dude, because I want to do some really shady stuff and I want to be able to have them overlook that, right? Like that's my justification for, hey, I'm gonna divert the power to the town. But at the end of the day, the deserters, I don't know, there's something with Adelaide that like rubs me the wrong way. She's got something creepy going on. Oh, I've gone the wrong direction here. And I can't quite put a finger on it. But I think I need to make the decision, yeah, that makes most sense for my character. I think my character would just divert it to the town because it's easier. I just go in to the thing.
Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
I wouldn't mind hearing your opinion.
I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
You know what? She has just kind of solidified that for me. Reed tells me Edgewater's going to die without workers and power. Or I see your point. I'm ready to make a decision. Yeah, Reed tells me Edgewater's going to die without workers and power.
That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way.
Yep, I see your point.
Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
I'm glad you did. I like hearing from you, or don't worry about it. I was barely listening to you. No, I'm glad you did.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
That's another thing to consider is like, she has obviously a bias on which choice she would take. And if the writers are good at writing, which we know they are in this game because they've done a fantastic job, they would create character opinions that aren't necessarily true, right? They're biased. It's not like she's telling me, hey, this is the right choice to make. She's just telling me this is the choice that she would make. And that's something I need to consider. But because she would also make the same decision, I'm going to do that. So we're going to continue to redirect the power to Edgewater. Boom. Exit. Okay. Now, can I actually quick travel from here? Is it possible? No, I can't. I have to go outside first. That's fine. So we diverted the power. Now we're going to go outside. Quick travel up to the botanical garden or whatever it is. Pick up my power regulator. Say hasta la vista to the people. Let's let the region load. There it goes. And hop back over to Edgewater. Job's done. Move on with my life, you know? Get out of here. I think this is too much of a... oh, apparently I have to go down here. This is too much of a heartache to have to deal with for my character, you know? He just wants to move on.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are.
She looks really
chopped
creepy.
You into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
This isn't personal. I need your power regulator. Or I don't owe you an explanation. No, Reed needs his people back. Sure, let's go with that one.
You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
You're being unreasonable. Seriously.
As long as Reed is still in Edgewater, I will not return. Those are my terms.
Okay. This is an interesting turn. Can I get rid of Reed?
You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together.
So this is an interesting turn, right? If I can convince Reed to leave and her to take over, then we have a new leader. Because right now it's not good in that town, and he's part of the problem. So if I can get him out of the way and bring her in, that would be perfect. Let's do that.
Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, And I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth.
How?
The secret is human corpses.
Oh,
I've
gross.
been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients.
That's disgusting.
If I were in a better mood, I might be inclined to try and change your mind.
Yeah. I knew something was weird with her. Ooh, look, loot. She's not gonna like that. It's only 4 bits either. So it's not gonna really make too much of a difference. I could talk to them. Should I talk to them first, or should I go? Let's go see if we could get rid of Reed first. Then we'll come talk to them. That's really gross. She's been using bodies as fertilizer. I mean, if she has nothing else, I guess that works, but that's kind of like weird, and I don't know. I just, that's, let's just say that's not something I would ever consider doing. That's really weird. Even if it does, it's so creepy how she just kind of teleports behind me. Even if it does work, it's just, yeah, it doesn't seem very right. Just kind of, it's defiling. That's a good word for it.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
I spoke to Adelaide. She won't come back so long as you're here.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's choice. I am not perfect.
I'm gonna have to kill him,
I
am
have
I?
made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town.
Your change of a change of leadership might be what the town needs. I think that, yeah.
I am a Spacer's choice man. My father was a Spacer's choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home.
He's not budging. Adelaide's people aren't getting sick with the plague. Yeah.
I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
This town doesn't eat anything but salt tuna. Of course you're gonna get sick.
You are disparaging our parent company, and it is not appreciated. We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat saltuna here, and only saltuna.
I'm pretty sure it's the food that's making you sick. You need Adelaide's garden.
I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanists couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of them and shut down the greenhouse.
Persuade 15. Adelaide's found a way to grow food. She'll come back if you step down.
You will excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
Look, Reed, all I know is that it involves some really complicated math and it works. Or she's been using human growth. Let's do that one.
If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
Nice. This can't be easy for you. What are your plans? No, take care. I don't care. Really don't care about you, bro. Have fun. That worked out better than I expected. I was certain I was going to have to kill somebody. But hey, the fact that I could just get him to step down, pretty cool, if you ask me. Really nice. I probably could just quick travel from up there. It just feels right to walk out of his office and use the elevator, though. It's just kind of like slamming the door almost. I really didn't want to tell him about the bodies. That may have changed his mind. But hey, I've managed to not have to kill anybody, keep my Spacer's Choice reputation up, and get my power regulator. That's a win.
Look at that. The snake's come back.
I talked Reed into leaving. Come back to Edgewater.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town
Wow,
and carry
11,000
on with our
XP.
lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward.
Oh man, I lost reputation with the board. I didn't want to do that. Edgewater's better off with you running the place. I made a mess of things. No, Edgewater is better off with her.
You're telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Okay then. Wait, took the button. Well, I leveled up. That was a whole lot of grossness going on there. Can I still talk to these nerds, or do they not really care? I don't think they really care. We got 10 points to spend. Let's get our handguns up to... Oh, that's right. I can't do it. Ah, that's right. I thought it was up to 60, but I would have to put 10 points just dead into it, which I guess I would be okay with. I don't know. What else did I want to put points? I could get my dialogue stuff up to 50, actually. That would be pretty good. Then I can individually pump them up. The stealth hacking stuff is okay. The tech stuff, medical stuff is nice. But yeah, let's get my dialogue up to 50. And then be done with that. So now I can individually level those up as I go. I got no perk points, right? Because I'm just level 7. It's only even levels. And as far as our reputation is concerned, we are at revering with the deserters and Spacer's Choice. You know, honestly, I don't think there was a better way to do that. That was perfect. That was not what I was expecting, and that ended up being just absolutely perfect.